We are going to talk today about imperfect people wanted. We're going to talk about perfectionism and just getting started in this business. So, how many of you have had someone get started, they get the product, they love it, they get excited, and they say something like, I can't wait to learn more so that I can start sharing too. Or maybe you approach someone that you know would be awesome at this business and they say something like, I just don't feel like I know enough. If that's happened, share this video with them. And if it hasn't, just wait because it will happen. So this whole idea of knowing enough is a big myth. You know enough right now to start sharing. You know how you like to use peppermint oil. You don't need to know how I like to use peppermint oil. You don't even need to know how the reference guide says to use peppermint oil. Just tell people how you use it. You know what you like to diffuse in the morning. You know what you like to diffuse at bedtime. So just tell people about it. And even if you don't even have your kit yet and you literally just ordered it this morning, you can still start sharing. Thanks, Tanya. You can call a friend and say, oh my word, I am so excited. I just ordered my premium starter kit from Young Living. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I can't wait to incorporate these products into my life. Come on over, let me tell you all about it, and we can learn this together. Literally, you can start sharing like that. You don't have to know anything. You just have to start telling people about what you want to know and what you want to learn, and you can learn together. And to further prove the point, when I decided that I wanted to start sharing, I had never even been to a class. I literally didn't know what I was doing. But I knew that the products were helping me, and I wanted to tell other people so that they could help them. So I got on the Young Living website, and I found a PowerPoint presentation, which they have now, and it's probably even way better. And I printed off that PowerPoint presentation, and I legit gave it to the two people that came to the class, and the three of us flipped through it together and read it together. Was it the best class I've ever done? For sure no. Was it even a good class? Probably not. I don't even remember. But here's the thing. It's what I needed to get started, and that's what matters. It may not be the best class. There's scripts out there. You can find scripts that you can literally just stand up there and read. And is that the best way to do a class? In my opinion, probably not. But if that's where you have to start, because that's where I needed to start, it is the best. Because that's what matters, is just getting started. So no one is looking for perfection. People are looking for a better way with better products, and people are looking for community. And you can offer that and so much more with Young Living. You don't need to know everything. But here's the thing. Even if you think you know everything and you're totally crazy and you say, I know every Young Living product, I know every policies and procedures, I know the compensation plan like the back of my hand, and there isn't a question you could ask me that I didn't know the answer to. Even if you said that, tomorrow, Young Living could come out with a brand new product that none of us know anything about. Or they could change the policies and procedures, or they can develop a new app that we want to share with people and don't know how to use, or they can come out with a new enrollment promotion. And in case you didn't know, all of those things just happened. So we are all constantly learning and growing. We have never arrived and know anything. So if you're familiar with the color personalities, specifically as presented by Jacob Adamo, because that's kind of what we usually hear about in the Young Living circle, this most deeply affects green personalities. And I say that as someone whose second dominant color is green. And by second dominant, I mean like 2% lower than my first. And as someone who's married to someone so green that if he saw me doing this video, he'd probably be disappointed that I'm even uttering the words imperfect people wanted, because that's such a foreign concept to him. So I say it as someone who gets it. I say it as someone who has felt it and has been there. And that's why I wanted to share about it, because I know what a hurdle it can be and what a stumbling block it can be for people. So I have this friend who also struggles with this issue and is a Young Living person. And she introduced me to this saying that she has taped on her computer to keep her moving that says, "Done is better than perfect." And I absolutely love that. When I was typing in the title for this video, I almost titled it "Done is better than perfect," because that's really the summary of this. And it applies to so many areas of our life, not just Young Living. And of course, there are things where perfectionism might be a benefit, like if you're a bridge engineer or a heart surgeon, like I hope that you have a little bit of perfectionism in you, but it for sure does not apply to your Young Living business or your ability to share Young Living. What matters is getting started. Having your first class imperfectly is going to do more for your business than not having a class. Telling someone about peppermint is going to do more for your business than not saying anything because you're scared that they might ask you a question that you can't answer. Done is better than perfect. And P.S., also in this business, perfection isn't possible because we're all different. We all learn in different ways. We all pick up on different vibes. So a class that to me is perfect might not be to you, and vice versa. So just get that out of your head and get started. The other thing is, not only is perfectionism not attainable because you can't do it because we're all different, but even if it were, almost more importantly is it's not duplicatable. And that's what you have to have in this business. We've all heard, hopefully if you've been in here long enough, duplication, duplication, duplication. You have to get people to do what you're doing and maybe even do it better than you're doing it, or you're never going to have a diamond business by yourself. You're only going to do it if other people are doing it with you. And no one is going to see your perfect presentation and say, "I can do that." And that's what you want them to say. We've all heard Teresa say before, you want someone to walk away and say, "I can do better than that." But you at least want them to say, "She made that look easy. I can do that." You want them to believe they can do it because they can. We all can. You can. We all can. So I want to share real quick with you a study that I thought was super, super fascinating with regards to investors and startup companies. So if you've ever seen Shark Tank, it's like that, but less Hollywood. It's like real life. So this happens all the time. We wouldn't have companies like Google and Apple if this wasn't a thing. And basically it's where people have great ideas, but they don't have any money to start a company the size that they need to start, or the product or the service or whatever it is. So they present it and they pitch their idea to investors who do have money to try and get them to say yes and join them to create this new business. So how does that relate to us? Basically, when we share with someone, we are pitching ourselves to them. We all know Young Living has the best products. And for sure, when we share, we're talking about the products. But there are literally millions of Young Living members that people can choose to enroll with. And your goal is to make them enroll with you. So you are pitching yourself to them. So how do you do that? Back to the investors. So in the September 2012 issue of the Journal of Business Venturing magazine, they published a study about these investors to see if there was correlation between passion and the investors' willingness to invest in these companies. And they found there was a direct correlation to the presenter's passion to whether they invested or not. So I won't go into the super details. It was a super cool study, but here's the gist. So 17% of the businesses got invested in, and the researchers came up with 13 criteria that the investors judged them on and had them rank which was the most important in making their decision, whether they decided to invest or not invest. And the number one thing that they decided on was strength of opportunity. If you don't have a good idea, we're not giving you money. The number two thing was strength of the entrepreneur. Do you have the strength and the grit to get through starting a business because it's hard and there's a lot of challenges? Then the number three thing was perceived passion. This perceived passion ranked out higher than their style of presentation, than their startup experience, and even than their education in the subject they were talking about. So that's where it's fascinating to me as it relates to us. Your perceived passion when you are pitching yourself to someone is more important than knowing what you're talking about. That's going to get people more excited and more likely to invest by saying, I want to do this with you. I want to get my starter kit. I am so on board with you. Your passion is what's going to do that more than knowing anything. You can learn stuff later. You just need to start now. So how do you share that passion? You share it by telling your story. That's what people want to hear. They can read about the products on the website. They can read the script for themselves. They want to hear your story. What has it done for you? What do you love to use? And then you just keep growing and learning from there. So all of this, no perfection required, is also not an excuse to not keep growing and learning. We are all growing and learning all the time. If you're doing it right, you're continually growing, you're continually learning to get better, and you're practicing and you're getting better. The encouragement is not to wait to start sharing. You need to start sharing now and just continue to improve. Don't wait until you feel like you're there. Don't wait until you feel like you're perfect. Don't wait until you feel like you know everything. Just start sharing now. I hope this is helpful for someone. Get out there and share with other people. Have a great day.